Welcome back to Flashback, your quick EU LCS catch-up. Patch 8.4 has just landed, and Week 7 of the Spring Split saw Banner of Command coming back into play amongst a handful of other new items. Let's get into it. The first match of the week was a clash between Roccat and Giants Gaming. Roccat showed up ready to rumble and turned every move by Giants into mistakes.
There's no scaring with the swag flash, lick and ignite.
And after they took Baron, the cannon minions raised the Roccat banner to give Blank and crew a wire-to-wire win. After a smooth first match, the Unicorns of Love and H2K faced off in a crazy up-and-down game. The match looked like it was on ice after Cold led the charge for the Unicorns until a huge flank from Shook revitalized H2K, keeping their hopes alive. But the Unicorns finally put their hooves down on H2K's comeback attempt as they stampeded to their 4th straight win. Splice came into their match against G2 Esports as massive underdogs, yet they were the ones who jumped out to a gigantic early lead. And with the game firmly in their control, Splice's masterful coordination bulldozed G2 off the rift for a surprisingly dominant victory.
This fight is like a bad day for G2 because they're getting knocked up. Kyan caught out as well, he's down. Kobe gets the triple and they're looking to end the game.
Next up was Vitality taking on Schalke. It was a hectic early game as both teams struggled to take the lead. But Vitality got creative and seized control with a sneaky 21-minute Baron. And once Skilius bested Pride in a smite fight at Elder Dragon, Vitality had everything they needed to take the win and break their 4-game losing streak. And Day 1's absolutely insane finale featured Misfits taking on Fnatic in the match of the week. The early to mid game was an absolute battle as both teams took risks and made big plays. And the biggest of them all was a Baron steal by Mickey X that looked like it sealed the game for Misfits.
Mickey steals the Baron somehow!
But it was Reckless who kept dishing out the damage as Fnatic fought to stay alive.
Reckless did everything perfect right there. He dodged all the CC. He stayed alive and he dealt enough damage to force Misfits back.
So once Misfits picked him off in the 53rd minute, they knew nothing stood between them and Fnatic's Nexus as they picked up one of the craziest wins of the split so far. After that, let's take a moment to catch our breath before jumping into Saturday's matchups. The first game of Day 2 saw Splice heads up against Roccat. It was a match that lived and died around the Baron pit, and Memento flashed in for a huge steal to turn the game on its head in the 27th minute.
Memento does it! He steals the Baron from Splice! Roccat are decimating them, destroying them, and deconstructing Splice where they stand.
But Xerxes wasn't gonna let Roccat have all the fun, as he stole Baron not once, but twice.
He does it! Are you kidding me?
And after that, it was just minutes before Splice picked off Memento to close out the game. The Unicorns of Love looked to stay hot as they squared off against Schalke Nilfia. It was neck and neck in the early game until the Unicorns popped off in the bot lane, then dove behind 2 mid lane towers to finish the job. They never even let Schalke think of the word comeback as they dialed up the pressure, keeping their playoff hopes alive with their 5th win in a row. In the 3rd match of the day, Misfits got on the board first, picking off 2 H2K members in the bot lane. But H2K were the ones scoring points the rest of the game. And just when we thought we had the EU LCS figured out, Shook and H2K reminded us just how dangerous they can be. Vitality had their sights set on their 2nd win in a row when they faced off against Fnatic. And it looked like they were primed to actually take over the game. But Broxa snuck into the Baron pit for a 6th steal that halted Vitality's momentum. They did their best to fend off Fnatic.
Match of the week version 2.
But another clutch smite from Broxa
Broxa, are you kidding me?
propelled Fnatic towards an incredibly epic win. G2 Esports fought to stay within arm's reach of first place as they took on Giants Gaming. It was Giants who brought the heat to the defending champs, securing kills and taking objectives. The deficit looked insurmountable, but G2's patient teamfighting gave them just enough breathing room to steal the win and keep pace for first place. And that wraps up Week 7. With only 2 weeks until playoffs, each team only has 4 games left to prove themselves before the teams get locked in. Will the Unicorns' winning streak continue? And was the Schalke game a fluke, or will Vitality go back to winning games? Only one way to find out. See you next week when EU LCS continues on Friday at 6 o'clock CET. You don't want to miss it.